Hi, good morning, everybody. I got some stuff ready, prepared for this week, and it's kind of, I like to call it just kind of old trusties. You know, you can go back to Proverbs and Psalms, and it doesn't matter kind of what I'm going through. I can go back there, and it's just you can kind of just. I know it sounds crazy, but I can just kind of flip through there, and it's like, man, that was specifically spoke to me. That was right. I needed to see that, you know. So I like to call them old trusties because there's always something in there I can apply to. And anyhow, and that's not to take away from how powerful they are, but they are. And I'm in Proverbs here, which Solomon, in case people aren't familiar with Solomon, man, he was super, I mean, the wisest person ever, you know. And anyhow, he did Ecclesiastes. He wrote a lot of the Proverbs and most of the Proverbs. But anyhow, and I'm reading. And what reason it spoke to me, and the reason I actually kind of looked it up and what it is there's a lot of things going on in a lot of people's lives, and that it's not like some people are going through some stuff and some people aren't. Everybody's going through something. Whether the seriousness and how critical it is depends on each person. You know, it can vary. You know, there's all kinds of things, but. The verse talks about trust, and it talks about trusting not people, and not talking about, you know, the price of oil, and not talking about what a doctor told you. You know, we trust these things so much more than we trust God, who raise people from the dead, you know, and save people's souls. But a lot of times we forget that. We act like that's just a side note to who God really is. I know for me personally, and we can't do that. We have to put Him number one and trust in Him first and foremost. And once we figure out how to do that, once we figure out how to trust Him completely, which I struggle with it all the time. I mean, things happen and my flesh falls apart. You know, a lot of people's heard me talk about my wife and her cancer deal. And man, flesh part of me, it crumbled. You know, you could probably talk to some people and they'll tell you, hey man, that guy fell apart a little bit, you know. But once I figured out that, man, I stepped back and trusted that God had this under control. And once you can kind of give into that and completely trust, it's amazing. It sounds cliche, it sounds like a movie, but once you fully trust, man, it really helps. Then you know that that's your first step in overcoming any obstacle or anything or any worry or any concerns. You know that God's going to take care of it because He loves us. That's the most important thing, is He loves us, He cares for us. You know, it's we kind of downplay how much He loves us and how much He cares for us. I don't know if it's just because we're so busy with our lives that we kind of overlook it, even in our Bible studies. Even us, you know, even if you go to church all the time, we kind of put that on the back burner, and we actually forget how much He genuinely cares for us. It's not just somebody. It's not just like a entity up in the sky who you know, if you do good, then I'll do good by you. That's not how that works. He loves us. I mean, He loves each individual person and cares for our well-being and the things that goes on. And we have to remember that. And anyhow, the verse is in Proverbs 3:5, and it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. And I've come into some things recently in my life where I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to approach this. And so maybe this speaks more to me this week. And I mean, like I said, I went through it, and I was. It's not like I just picked a verse to go through, but I was reading and I read somewhere else, and anyhow, it led me to this point, this verse. And trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. So when you're hurting, or when you're scared, or when things are going terrible in life, and you don't know how you're going to pay this bill, or you don't know how you're going to overcome the death of someone in your family, or some, it doesn't even have to be that significant. We have to trust the Lord with all our heart, and once we remember that He loves us and that He cares for us, it's easier to start that trust. You have to give in, and it's a work in progress. We all are. We're a work in progress every day. I hope that we as Christians and as people can get better every day and trust Him. And if we can, you know, if you're going through your day, maybe write this down on a piece of paper and stick it on something on the front of your Bible, or maybe on your dash of your pickup. And you know, if something sucks, things go bad, just look at that and remember Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Just remember that. Jot it down and remember that. That's kind of what I got this week, and I think it's super powerful. I know it's kind of short, but man, that's it. We got to trust that He's going to take care of our country. Trust that He's going to He's going to come and take care of everything. We have to trust that. Keep praying. Pray for our country. Have trust once we pray that He's going to take care of the things that we need Him to take care of. And even if we don't understand it, we can't lean on our own understanding. Jesus tells us in John 15:5 that apart from God, we're nothing. We can't do anything, and we have to remember that. So I hope everybody has a good week. Keep praying for our country. Pray for our troops. Pray for our leaders. Whether we like them or not, we have to. And pray for this oil field to come back. We're ready. I'll talk to y'all next week.